welcome to the Same 12 Notes podcast. My name is AJ, aka the man behind the deck.
Yo, I'm DJ Slowpo. I'm going to stick with my other aka online gas guy.
Yo, it's Sein. Today I'm doing all red, so aka Blood Gang. Actually, I take all of that back.
Yeah,
do all of that again.
Say chest.
Oh, don't say that on the internet.
Be careful.
Oh, that will get me shut down real quick.
Oh, yes.
Do that intro again, please.
You want to do it fully again?
How hungover I was hit me so hard when we started to record.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Same 12 Notes podcast. My name is AJ, aka man behind the deck.
Yo, DJ Slowpo in the building, aka your online gas guy.
Yo, Sein here. Slightly tender, aka chicken tender crisp.
Wow. So for those who aren't here, we have two hungover hosts and one very well rested host.
I'm not hungover.
I
didn't drink. I'm just
okay,
tired.
one hungover, one very tired, and one very well rested. These two were texting each other last night about pulling up to a club whilst I was just putting my head down to go to sleep.
Wow.
I had my podcast on, put my head on the pillow, and then my phone started pinging and lighting up. I was like, God fucking damn it.
I don't regret any of the decisions I made apart from the double. Should have stayed on the singles.
Yeah, that's usually good advice, I have to say. That's usually the way to go.
Sweet. Let's get started. I'm also going to try not to say as much as I do. I've realised I a lot.
Yeah, it's good. It's good feedback. Oh, God damn.
Thanks to counsellor.
So there's been quite a lot of albums come out in the last couple of weeks. We've got quite a bit to talk about in terms of actual music, actual hip-hop content. There's plenty to go through.
I'm not going to lie, there's like quite a lot of stuff that I haven't listened to yet as well.
Yeah, same.
And I think that's sheerly because the few albums that I've listened to, I've really enjoyed and they've just been kept on rotation.
I mean, that's just my life.
Well, I do try and listen to...
I have albums from like 2008 that I'm like, oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
It takes me about a year to get into an album.
I do try.
I try, but again, curse of the podcast is we have to listen to some stuff that we never would have listened to. I have only got one album of the last week that I wouldn't have gone to that I now listen to, and now I listen to that rapper's catalogue.
Which is
Meg Thee Stallion. I've heard her rap. I never thought I was going to listen to a full album of hers.
Do you know what? The thing is as well, yeah. Since you mentioned her last week, I've been seeing quite a few people posting on Insta about her album.
She can rap.
I've still not listened to it, mainly just because I've not really heard much of her before, and with all the other stuff releasing, she just wasn't on the top. She wasn't in the top 5.
That's fair.
Wasn't in the top 5.
I know absolutely nothing about her.
From what I've heard, though, she should be in the top 5.
The unexperienced host knows nothing about her. I know nothing, Jon Snow.
We will educate. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry, Incest Horse Show ended terribly.
Incest Horse Show, wow. Brilliant.
Dragons in there too.
My friend called it Coronation Street with Dragons.
That's a great description.
We do have friends who do podcasts on this topic. We'll post some links. We'll do some plugs.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let's look at the list. So quickly recapping the list that I spurted out last week. Has anyone listened to Lil' Kim?
Well, we all know the answer to that.
AJ literally got up out of his chair and left.
He refused to be a part of that conversation.
So, again, in the research that we have to do, I watched her newest music video and it hurt my heart.
Was it that bad?
It hurt. None of it was okay.
The thing is, for me, like, how I remember Lil' Kim, she was rat shit, she was She looked fine as shit as well.
Yeah, she's...
And now what? She must be... She's definitely post 40. Definitely post 40.
And it's not good. It doesn't look good on her.
Do I want to see her in that light when all I've known her for was ratchetness and just wearing basically nothing?
But
Like,
she
I don't want to see a music
well.
video. Yeah, she rapped well, but I don't want to see a music video of somebody that's in their 40s in a bikini,
J-Lo.
twerking it out, talking about, I don't know.
Actually, yeah, never mind.
But like subject matter of what Lil Kim used to talk about as well, whilst being dressed like that. I mean, when she performed in like the 90s, early 2000s, she used to get the pumps out on stage.
True.
On stage. So like if she's keeping that same energy, which is for the music, I would like to hear that because that's the kind of music that I fucked with from her.
Yep.
But I just don't
sense.
want to see any visuals of it.
That makes perfect sense.
Just referring to the internet, Lil Kim is 44.
Yeah.
Again, it's frustrating because I thought she was going to be one of the greats from that era who would continue to be great and grow into it and change with it, but she hasn't. And now this return to rap is not good at all. It looks like a very cheap attempt at being like the bad bitch vibe.
I mean, 14 years between albums
Well
is a
played
long
out.
time.
Do we think that like when
No one should get away with 14 years.
Yeah, the culture has changed a lot.
when artists do this, are they doing it because the bag's empty?
Yes.
They're dusting out whatever's left of the bag, and they're just thinking, "Fuck, I need to do something." Even if this album is a flop, how much money
It'll
will
make
she
some
make
bank.
off what?
Yeah.
Say if it does 60,000 in the first week.
Yeah, that'll be very high for her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's being generous. Is that gonna be like kind of
And
like some resurrection?
At the
for
very
her,
least,
or-
what it will serve to do is get people who maybe haven't considered Lil Kim for a long time to go back and listen to the back catalogue, which will also produce revenue. She's making money
that's
either
true.
way.
I think the bag that's being aimed for is an even longer shot than that. It's the shows, it's the tours, it's like the residency. How many rappers and musicians now are low-key shooting for a Vegas residency? Drake's got one now.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Vegas, like a residency in Vegas, that's where like the mad money is.
Unless you're
artists are-
unless you're Britney.
Yeah, but artists will only really make like good money off their shows.
Yep, so I think she's just going to try and
But you can't
cash in on Lil Kim shows.
you can't do shows off the back of a terrible album.
No, you can't, but you can do shows, or you can do a terrible album that'll lift up the tracks that were good and then tour. So her tour will be 70% old Lil Kim, and then she's like, oh, by the way, my new album.
Yeah, I hear that. The only way though that I'm ever going to, again, actually, that I'm not even going to try and contradict myself. I will happily just put on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever streaming service I feel like listening to that day, and just listen to her old shit. Because again, I do not want to go and see Lil Kim at her big grown age of 44 twerking out on stage, singing Lighters Up.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't want that. Like
That's not a good scene.
Like the memory that I have of her was quite high. I don't want to lower that memory.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Didn't think we are going to talk about Miss Kimberly so much.
No, neither did I.
So other albums that came out, Styles P, did not listen to that.
Yeah.
PNB Rock, did not listen to that.
Oh, so I've not really listened to all of it, but
We're really bad at this.
With said radio station, obviously there is some stuff on there. It is all right from the tracks that I've heard.
PNB Rock?
Yeah, what is it? Trap style turn pop star.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. I've not listened to the whole album. The couple of tracks that I've heard off there, I'm like, all right, yeah.
Okay.
It's nothing to shout about, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
I'll add it to the list. Other albums, Queen K.
I gotta say,
I watched one Queen K video and I felt dirty.
In general, just as an overall observation, in general, it takes a lot to get me excited about an album anymore. This isn't a criticism
Nowadays,
of anybody.
I feel like we're led by the name.
Yeah.
I won't listen to an album. I won't give someone 45 minutes of my life now if I'm like, who is this person?
Yeah.
And what are they going to bring to me?
Yeah.
I have to have heard them before, which sounds so stupid to say out loud. I have to have heard them before.
Yep.
Or been led there for a very good
By a
reason. I
trusted
wouldn't
source.
just go, oh, this person has released an album on this day. Here's 45 minutes to
I feel like that's
Or there has
decide.
to be some kind of curiosity element to it.
Yes.
Like, oh, this is causing a bit of drama. This person's done some crazy shit on the gram.
which is frustrating, but
it's like
the
when we-
baby is getting very famous because of that.
It's like when
That
we,
video you showed me, Jesus.
it's like when we talked about marketing rollouts before. If the marketing rollout was good, then you want to go and watch it. You want to go and listen to it. Spend that 45 minutes taking of your time to listen to it. Or if they put out, if I've not heard them and they put out 1 or 2 fire singles that's like promo for the album, yeah, you can take like maybe the first 20 minutes of my time, and if the album's not slapping from there, it's going off.
Yeah. I mean, there's also that happens to me a lot with any album, even albums by people who want to listen to the album. Like, I'll listen to the first half, something will happen in my day, I'll have to press stop, and then I go back and start from the beginning again. And then I end up never listening to like the last 4 tracks, which sometimes are great. And there's just nothing that, like, that break, you have to have that time to listen to it all the way through.
Yeah,
Because especially
that's
now
true.
that I think it's becoming more common to have people creating albums as whole projects. Like, you need to listen to the album to get the message
Yeah.
or the vibe or whatever they're trying to go for is put into the whole album. It's not just a series of singles.
Well, I don't know. That's
Apart from Khaled.
yeah.
I was just going to
apart
say apart from Khaled, but that's his thing. That's
apart
his,
apart from Khaled, but also as well in kind of like the age that we're in now of streaming, our artists making their album thinking, oh, let me make a concise project that all makes sense that you want to listen to from start to finish, or are they thinking, I'm going to make some tracks that are going to hit the top playlists on here, that's going to boost up my streams massively, that's going to be more revenue?
the second one.
Sadly, yes.
It's a numbers game. It's absolutely a numbers game. And sometimes the numbers game results in amazing music. It happens.
It does.
Sometimes it doesn't. It's definitely not an even split. I'm not willing to put my money on which way the split goes. I definitely don't think it's a 50-50 split between like artistry and just making money.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that there's a few artists that we know that you can see that definitely do that. And then, yeah, you've got like people like Migos and shit that they're definitely making an album for the streams and
The numbers, yeah.
for the numbers, for the hits. Like, no, I don't even think anybody we spoke about before, no one really wants to listen to what they're putting out, like 25, 30 songs on their albums now.
When
You
did that
don't-
become a thing, by the way?
It's not a thing. It's not okay to copy and paste the same song.
No, I mean,
24 times.
when did these really fucking long albums become so common?
Well, there were times where rappers would give you a
A
part 1 and
deluxe,
part 2,
yeah.
and it'll come with 2 discs in there, part A, part B. But they were really rapping. So now I'm really confused how you can repeat Versace 77,000 times and give me 37 songs for it.
Yeah.
So, like, now there's no content. So I dislike that albums now are ridiculously long. And then we look at someone like Schoolboy's album, which was 40 minutes long, if that.
And it
he
was great.
packed it with content.
It was
Packed it.
incredible.
The official stance of the Same 12 Notes podcast is
Yeah.
that Schoolboy Q is the man.
Schoolboy is the man himself.
100%.
Moving on to other albums.
Yeah, I got some prawn toast. What are you saying? I'll mute your mic so you can have a snack. Whilst Slowpo snacks, what we saying?
Other albums. Coming to May 24th, which I flashed through last time. I have not listened to Suicide Boys and Travis Barker, and I will not. Beast Coast, very good one. We'll come back to that. Fly Low, not listened to that, sadly. It's on my list. For real, YG. Definitely going to talk about that. And coming up, excited for you. I'm just going to mention this. I will recap this list.
Oh, yeah.
May 31st. Are you excited? It's like Christmas Day for you.
What?
Denzel Curry's new album.
Oh, my God, yes!
I'm very excited for that. I want to hear what he has to say.
Denzel might be one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Wow. Wild talk. But I'll let you have it. Sit on that high horse when this album stays.
He's truly incredible.
Okay.
Easily the most underrated rapper.
He's underrated. I'll give you that one. Definitely give you the fact that he's underrated.
Like,
massively underrated.
I maintain to this day that Taboo was one of the best albums of last year.
Was that last year? I thought it was 2 years ago.
I might have been 2017. Of the year that it came out. I just remember
I'll
spending
give
a
you
lot
that
of
one.
time last year talking about it.
I'll give you that.
I don't think we can say that is one of the greatest rappers ever, though. I think that's just a massively wild claim.
Yeah, but I mean, to say that anybody is the greatest of anything ever is a hugely wild claim.
No, it's not.
Unless you say Michael Phelps. If you say Michael Phelps is the greatest swimmer of all time, well, that's objectively true. But
But there's things, though, that you can easily say...
It's fucking hot
You
in
can
here.
easily say Jay-Z is one of the best rappers of all time.
Yeah.
And like, there's evidence to
facts.
prove it.
Big fact. That's true.
There's evidence to prove it. Like, if you look at... like,
Yeah, but
a
that's
top-
like, I imagine there's probably some unknown guy in a village in Africa somewhere who's faster than Usain Bolt, or, you know, a better long distance runner than Kipchoge, but we don't know about them. Kind of similar, like Jay-Z's huge, and yes, he is one of the greatest rappers of all time. Denzel's that little guy who's faster than Kipchoge, and just no one's ever seen him.
No,
You're giving him so much credit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
much
you're giving
credit.
way too much credit because people have seen him. He's done shows. He's done world tours. Like, he has had the exposure to be able to be big like that.
He doesn't have mass appeal. I think that's the problem.
That's part of being the greatest.
Ultimate is a challenge to listen to if you're not into that.
Exactly.
You can't be the greatest if you're such a niche.
I mean,
It's like look at like because we're gonna go into his album later anyway. Like Tyler, when he came out at first, the Odd Future thing was such a niche that
weird became cool.
yeah, but like that anyone that wasn't into that kind of stuff, it was just like, why the fuck are you listening to this? They're on about raping women and like they're causing mosh pits and fighting each other, like in rap music as well. Like that wasn't really a thing.
Did anybody see? I sent it to you both, but for people listening, we'll put it up on the screen. The tweet.
Yes, that did make me laugh. That's,
So
I like that.
Theresa May resigned, and Tyler tweeted, "Theresa gone, I'm back," because he can now. I don't think that's how it works, but he thinks that
definitely
now
not
he
how
can
it's
come back to the UK.
But he did something very clever, which is jump on a public culture trend that has nothing to do with America, which American musicians are really bad at doing.
Awful.
They're really bad at doing it.
I think though American musicians don't realize that there is a world outside of America.
That's very
Oh,
true.
we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we've discussed that at length.
So it's good to see that he celebrated his album by just popping up in London.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere.
Yep.
Just appeared.
Very well. It failed, but it was a very good promo.
He's just.
But there's
so-
probably the assumption that it was going to fail. You can't just assume no one is going to turn up to see you in the country when you're now allowed back into the
especially
country.
not in like the UK.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The people are wild out here.
Yeah.
Rihanna has moved to the UK.
Really?
Now as well. She's living in London. She's
being spotted.
Yeah.
People literally like playing Pokemon Go to try and find Rihanna.
Yeah,
It's
Twitter.
like, find Rihanna is like
Is
a
it true
shiny
that
Charizard.
Rihanna's like a huge fan of
Same 12
Archie's?
notes? Yes.
Yeah. We haven't got that one.
Yeah, no. We do have that one. I found it. Yes. Yeah, Rihanna's like a huge fan of Archie's. For anyone who's not from Manchester, Archie's is this like little. It's not even that little anymore. There's like three of them.
I'm not
No,
a huge fan of Archie's.
it's spread out. They're in Liverpool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was DJing there. I was walking past. They've got a massive Archie's as well. It's 2 floors. Got like
Mad.
seating. I'm not going to talk about Archie's anymore because
They're
not paying me.
It's
Yeah,
a
there's
slightly
no free
above
food
average
there.
burger place, but they've got a lot of celebrity endorsements.
yeah. To be fair, Nas was in the one in.
Nas has got his own
Manchester.
milkshake. It's called the Naughty Nas. It's
game.
great.
He was in there as well. I think he's got like a picture of the wall of him, like just chilling.
Conor McGregor, but apparently every time Rihanna comes to the UK, she makes a point to go to Archie's.
I want to disagree with that.
Which, I don't get. It's not that good.
Nah,
That if
do you know
I
what
was
I feel-
Rihanna and I could eat whatever the fuck I want.
No, but what I feel
Marketing.
like is, I feel like a lot of artists probably won't eat before their performance anyway, just for obvious reasons. So after the concert, most of the time, if you're performing at O2 or something like that, or even the MEN, Archie's is like, by the time you've finished and like you're allowed to leave, Archie's is open late.
Yep.
True
say.
Nowhere near as great as Action Bronson taking the whole show outside
Yes.
to go to a chicken shop.
That was so good. Great video to watch.
Action Bronson's the greatest man in the world.
I'm excited for his
I'm not gonna
slow
argue
return.
with you.
He's going to do festival
Like,
runs.
just as a human being, he's up there.
I'm not gonna argue with that at all.
So, jumping into the albums in which we each took to listen to and see what we could find out. Father of Assad, how do people like the album a week later?
So,
Go
I
for it, Slowpo.
really like it, but the difference is, like, it's weird because like I thought that this was gonna do so much better than what it has done.
Yeah.
Like, when I've been speaking to people about it as well, a lot of people haven't really welcomed it.
Well, I mean,
Like, it's not had like good feedback.
no, not particularly, and that's not because it's bad. It's certainly not bad.
Well, I don't.
I think the big problem that I've had with it, and maybe this is because I don't pay too much attention to when I say the charts, I mean like the charts.
Yeah.
Like, the Ariana Grande
Yeah, yeah.
charts, those charts.
The official 100.
Yeah.
I've not heard nearly as much from this album as I did when we had I'm the One.
I'm going to explain that later.
Songs like that. Like, there was a song from each album, and it was usually the Quavo, Justin Bieber, and Chance the Rapper song
Yep.
that we had, and it would grab you and pull you into the album, and then I would personally then go away and go, oh, okay, I'm going to go listen to the rest of the album, and then I'd enjoy it for what it is, which is a collection of
I'm going to go into
really good collabs.
into why that has failed.
Do it.
But yeah, like just to finish off what I was on about.
Sorry to the listeners, that was the complete wrong sample.
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like a lot of people, I don't know whether it's like a lot of people that I speak to and whatever, just because they go out in clubs a lot, a lot of them are heavily invested in this trap kind of sound. Obviously, when you see some of the features on there, I think they was expecting a lot more of a heavy trap sound. And for me, this album it
was a lot calmer.
It's more of a summer vibe.
Yeah.
If you look at all the songs, I think DJ Khaled's made this being like, I want this to be like the album that everyone plays this summer. Like, nothing's too heavy. Everything's like kind of like nice, light and airy. Even like some of the visuals that are coming out. Like, even when you look back at No Brainer, that was...
Oh shit, that's on this album.
Yeah, that was last year's summer album.
Very
It's a
clever.
summer track.
Very clever when I spotted
So there you
that.
go. So that's that's what I've missed. No Brainer was from last year.
Yeah, right. So we got, when you look at it, so
long.
the numbers that it's done this week, I've just rounded them up slightly. But the first week's numbers, he did 132,000 total,
That's big.
and physical sales were 32,500. Although he still didn't reach number one, Tyler took that.
Strong.
Yes.
And Tyler smashed it as well. I think he did like 175,000 or something.
Needed it.
We absolutely needed it. Very surprising though.
I'm not actually surprised. Like,
He
listening
did
to
it very well.
Like, I've seen on Twitter, people are like, actual artists are calling for him to win a Grammy.
Yeah.
I feel like we mentioned that Tyler should win a Grammy before.
Tyler deserves a Grammy.
He absolutely does.
Definitely
I'm just saying,
deserves
from a charting point of view, from a mass appeal point
Yeah.
of view, I never expected Tyler to be there.
I think Flower Boy was the great setup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the change.
Yeah,
was
agreed.
that kind of, like, as I said before, the subject matter that Odd Future used to talk about, there was never gonna get mass love from that. And like when we went back in that previous episode where we talked about Earl wanting to scratch his catalogue from what they used to talk about and everything like that.
Yeah.
we wasn't sure about it.
Oh, I got real mad about that.
But I feel like for them to get to this place now where Tyler is number one, like in America, you have to kind of forget some of the stuff that they was talking about.
Are Odd Future technically still a thing?
I don't think they are.
I don't think so. I think enough of them
Odd Future Golf
disbanded.
Wank, kill them all.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Because I always thought of Odd Future as more of like a ASAP Mob type of thing.
Yeah, it pretty much
They were
is.
like... That's a great comparison, yeah. They were on the verge of being a collective.
Technically, they're still together.
Oh, interesting. But
Inactivity as a collective is how it's categorized on Slowpo's favorite site, Wikipedia.
strong.
Oh, wow. Well, so we're not taking
accurate,
that as facts.
accurate facts.
But yeah, going back to Father of Assad, so I'm going to break down why I personally think that this album didn't reach number one and it didn't do as well. And we got to go all the way back to March of last year. Because that's when he released Top Off.
Yeah, I found that very weird that was on this album. It felt like such a
it felt like
shoehorned in.
Well, this is the thing. I thought that it was a last kind of thought, and he just threw it in just to build up like just to bulk up the album a little bit. But no, this album that we got was supposed to have came last year.
Oh wow!
Not this year. So Top Off only reached number 22 in the top 100.
Poor.
Obviously had Beyonce on, and it was
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah. Jay-Z and Beyonce. So you'd think that having those two on a track, like you'd never think, oh, that's not even going to make it into the top 10. It didn't even make it into the top 20. It reached at 22. So then, what was it? That came out March. I think No Brainer, don't quote me on this, but I think that came out around the summer. So maybe like three months later, if we can get a fact check on that.
Yeah, give me one sec.
But yeah, that had, what was it, Justin Bieber?
No Brainer was July.
July, yeah. So that was the summer track.
And it was a great summer track too.
Yeah, it was good. What was it? Quavo,
Chance and Bieber.
Yep.
Which I thought of it as the spiritual successor to I'm the One.
Yeah, well, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was, but it didn't do nowhere near as well as I'm the One, because I'm the One went straight to number one.
I'm the one. Yeah.
But like considering No Brainer was for the masses, it was the commercial song of the summer. It only reached number 5 in the charts.
Yeah,
I really liked Chance's verse in that. I'm just going to go out and say it.
Chance's verse was great.
Chance the rapper as the happiest man in hip hop.
He might be the happiest man in the world.
Yeah,
like
I just don't understand how he's not stubbed his toe. He's never stood on a plug. I feel like Chance has never stood on a plug.
I don't think he has. Like
not like in the last 5 years.
But there's a line in that verse. Something about making someone's booty applaud. I can't find the lyrics. It was great.
So, but yeah. So then, obviously, he's released those 2 tracks. They were the 2 singles. And from what I'm piecing together, I feel like they were supposed to be the 2 singles that was bringing it out. But then, out of nowhere, he had this random, was it 10-ish, about 10 months break?
Yeah, that's very true.
It all went quiet, especially for Khaled.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
He had so loud.
Well, he had he came out with Top Off. That didn't do well. That flopped. Then he brought out No Brainer, and like that didn't do as well as what he thought it was gonna. It reached number 5 though, and it was like kind of like the song. I'm gonna say it was the song of the summer.
Yeah, you couldn't avoid that song.
Yeah, especially from like a DJ's point of view as well. That was like one of the most requested songs at the time.
He's really good at making those songs too. We don't get enough of them.
They're easy for him. But what I don't get is then why did this 10-month break happen? Like we heard nothing from him. Like even just like the amount of promo for the tracks just like decreased massively.
That's very true.
And then the 3rd single, like when we talk about rollouts and whatever, when we did that long episode, we said normally an artist will produce like 2, then the third one, the 3rd single that they put out, then the album's gonna come. The 3rd single that he put out was Higher, with Nipsey, and that didn't release until the day of the album.
That was a really weird gap to then drop it with that song on the album launch. I think it feels like he took a stab in the dark at mixing different ways to promo, which the effect was we have these really old songs next to these really new songs, and you can hear the difference.
I don't think that is it. I think what this is he's now trying to make he's trying to make up for lost time. Because if you look at the other things that he's doing as promo tracks now as well, he's doing the one with SZA.
That has a whole video, which is crazy.
Yeah, one of the ones with Meek Mill
has a video too.
And then he had something else. So
Jealous, the one with Chris Brown and Big Sean and Lil Wayne, has a video as well.
So now when you look at this,
I haven't watched any of those yet.
Wish. Oh, it's an experience, the DJ Khaled video.
He's got like 5, maybe 6 tracks off this album that he's using as promo singles.
Yes.
And he's putting them all out at once to the point where this is too much to digest.
It's a lot.
Like it doesn't run with how a normal marketing campaign should go. And I feel like if you're pushing all of these songs now, one, radio doesn't know which ones they're going to be promoting. Like, they're not going to be getting the regular plays that you'd normally get. So I don't feel this is going to boost these streams up.
It's a really good example of, and this isn't just true in hip-hop, this is true in music, this is true in working life. If you attempt too many things at once to reach a goal, by the end of it, you don't know what stuck and what didn't. You've just got too many things going on all at once, and you're trying to achieve something, so you throw in all these ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks, and then by the time that it comes to reviewing the results, there's been too much going on, and you can't isolate the result of any individual thing. And ultimately, if it's had a detrimental effect, some of the ideas that you put in there might have been great. That might have been something that you really would have benefited from doing in isolation. But because you've gone around and tried to do 10 different things, you've just you ruined it for the rest of them.
Yeah, that's 100% correct.
I love that because you can see it on some of the songs. Track 10, Big Boy Talk. If you go back a few years and someone tells you, we're going to get a song called Big Boy Talk featuring Young Jeezy and Rick Ross, your brain would explode with excitement. I want to be educated. This track is going to bang. It drops as the 10th track. It almost disappears in the album. You listen to it and you're like, the potential here was amazing, but it's just like drowned out by the rest of the stuff he was throwing at the world.
Even as well, like Buju Banton, the Buju Banton feature, like coming out from prison, like this is kind of like the first major thing that he's been on. You would expect, like, and it's the first song on the album. You'd have expected that to have had so much more attention than what it's
I think that does have a video as well. The first track, the video is so epic. It makes the song epic. Now I listen to the song without the video and I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a very weird way to think about music, that I have to go listen and watch it to get the full idea of what was going on here.
Yeah, it's a weird... I don't think this is the end for Khaled. Like,
oh, hell
it's
no.
not like this is going to absolutely collapse the empire that he's building.
It's not, because the album, like, listening to the album, it's a good album. There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
I just feel like it's not reflected the positioning that we expect from DJ Khaled.
Yeah, it's a bit of a miss. It's not like it was a terrible shot, but it was a miss.
Yeah, yeah.
The technique was off.
I don't think the technique was off. I think he just hit the rim.
That's very true. Funny on that, I tweeted, Punch, TDE president, tweeted, I can't sleep, who's up? And just asked the internet to ask him loads of questions. It does relate to DJ Khaled. And I tweeted him back saying, if you could DJ Khaled style create an album right now, who would feature on your leading single? God bless Punch for actually answering my question.
No way.
And he listed everyone in a tweet and he added them as well. So in Punch TDE President leading DJ Khaled style track, he would have, and some of them are like unknown musicians. One of the guys has like 900 followers.
Wild.
Ichiban,
Nope.
Nick Grant, We've heard of Nick Grant. I Am Lyric Michelle.
Nope.
C.S. Armstrong. Never heard of C.S. Armstrong.
Nope. I'm willing to give all these people a go, though.
Daylight. You may have heard of Daylight.
Really?
Yes. Daylight, a battle rapper he's the guy who did the whole pooing on stage thing on World Star. God. Daylight, he features on Ab-Soul's album. And Earl Lee, who has got like 500 followers on Twitter, sorry. And yeah, he was like, yep, this would be my list. And it's very funny that he's done similar to what I feel Khaled does.
I feel real bad for you. You had the opportunity there to get added in a tweet full of fucking names and just missed. Like, you just didn't tweet anyone with your name in it. Did you catch what I mean there?
No.
Yeah.
In his reply, you had the opportunity there for him to like reply to you.
Yes.
Oh,
So it'd be at Sein.
Oh, no, he did.
And then,
Replying to Sein, lol,
No,
and then
but
he
he- yeah,
added
but-
yeah,
all
but
of-
No, but he's saying that I think what AJ is getting at is the level of these artists.
Yeah, you
that-
had
Oh,
the,
yeah.
you had the
Oh,
opportunity there to
definitely.
pop up on the feed of some huge
Definitely
names
could've,
and
like
just
punched
missed it.
Yeah, that's
thing-
very true.
the
But
thing
it's
is-
very funny that he picked people like Khaled, people who no one's really heard of, to people who are relatively
Yeah, well, I think that,
established musicians.
I think this is the thing though, where what makes Khaled so good is his black book of contacts. Like,
that's very true.
and the thing is, Khaled is never really gonna put on an unknown artist on his
No,
album.
that's not.
He's not
it's
gonna,
not gonna work
just,
for
he's
him.
just not
Can
gonna.
we celebrate that Khaled manages to get Jay-Z and Nas on the same album, which, you know, the world has been trying for a long time.
Yeah.
I guess it's really easy though. Man, I say easy like I have a clue how this works, but if you're approaching these artists to work on songs rather than albums,
Yeah.
So he's not approaching Jay-Z saying, "Hey, come work on my album."
No,
He's approaching Jay-Z saying, "Hey, I've got this song that I want you to do. Come work on that," and then he just puts it on. It's a compilation album. That's what these albums are.
Yeah, but like in terms of just the whole thing, like he would have to be notified that this song is going on the album.
Yeah, of course.
So,
but
like,
it's much easier for him to approach. Like, it's an easier approach to make.
Yeah, because he doesn't like nobody. He doesn't have to tell them who else is going to be on this album.
Yeah, exactly.
Or anything.
Exactly.
You're just a song on there.
So you could have two people on there who got the maddest beef,
But you've also got to remember that.
which looks great for Khaled.
Yeah, you've also got to remember though as well. The checks must be pretty big.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
The checks
Yeah.
must be pretty big.
Checks are
like,
massive.
I would love to know what he spent on the features on this.
That's That's
I'd love to know, and the sample and getting samples cleared, which we're going to get to. But I just want to quickly, before we spend too much time on him, when I was looking at all the features and stuff online, Complex organised theirs in order of
Okay.
like which ones were their favourite.
I'm ready.
The list is massively long, so I'm gonna like cut it down a little bit. So yeah, number 10, J Balvin. Number 9, Rick Ross. Number 8, Lil Baby. Number
Rick Ross would
7,
be higher.
Jeezy. Number 6, Big Sean. 5, Cardi B. 4, Jay-Z. 3, Justin Bieber. 2, Beyonce. And number 1, Nipsey Hussle.
I disagree with that list so much.
I massively do as well.
I'm completely indifferent. On an aside, pun intended, obviously we know and then you can get back to it. I just read this and this blew my fucking mind. He's mentioned Assad as executive producer.
Yes, I think I know what you're going to
Obviously,
say.
he's credited as executive producer. Also credited as executive producer, Allah.
What?
Yep, it's on the album. It's printed on the cover of the album.
Yep.
Trying to load this up. Oh goddamn, where is it?
My God.
So I
saw
just
that.
clicked on the name, thinking, oh, maybe there's some hip hop producer who goes by the name Allah. That's a bit controversial. Way to
Yeah.
get yourself attacked.
Yeah.
Nope. He literally credited God as an executive producer.
Yeah, along with his son.
Yeah. I mean, just the Assad thing.
I mean, is there
okay with.
anything?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just fucking dumb.
There's not really anything wrong with it. But
There's nothing wrong with anything like that. Like, it's just dumb.
do you reckon that's some sort of tax avoidance as well, though?
Oh, definitely checks were written there.
Because obviously you've got to pay for this at some point.
That's true.
So if you're doing
Who's
that
he cashing? Where's Alec cashing his check?
I want to see a tax god.
I mean, for all we know, we might have just donated it to a church.
Well, that is
or
a
charity,
that is a
whatever.
thing that if you're Muslim, you donate. I think it's 10%. It depends.
Yeah,
I suppose it depends how Muslim you are. You donate
no price on it.
There's a significant portion of your annual income that goes towards the
faith.
Faith. I was going to say the church, and then I realized that was wrong.
Do you reckon?
So maybe that's his way of doing this.
Yeah, potentially.
Which is pretty cool. Actually.
Life lessons.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm learning today.
Did you not know that?
No.
Yeah, I can't think what it's called. It's like it's charity. You know, like when they go around in church with the thing. It's like that.
Roman Catholic Church is tithe.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's compulsory. It's like you have to give this much.
Okay.
And it goes towards looking after mosques and things like that.
That's fair. I like it.
It's not the worst thing ever.
It's
not
like the black pastor churches and they drive around in their fucking Lamborghini.
I like your
shit.
Yeezys, father.
So moving on from your civics lesson,
I just want to call out as well. Somebody from Complex, please tell me why Beyonce got the number 2 slot.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'm assuming it was for Top Off. When
I think that was her only feature, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, how can anybody be excited about a track that we had a decade ago?
Yeah.
I understand the Nipsey Hussle one being
absolutely
number 1. I'm not even gonna argue with
and that's
that.
a good verse.
And yeah,
good feature. Actually. Good use of a feature because he doesn't just throw a 32 bar verse on it.
It was great, but then when you look at Justin Bieber then in at third as well, we had that album. No. We had that track last year. Like, there was a lot better features on here I was more excited to hear.
Very true. Very true there. So, any last bits on Father of Assad before we pick another album?
Nope, let's move on.
Yeah, I feel like we've spent a lot of time with him.
For real. Gang, YG 400.
We need a load of samples.
I need every explosion you got there. Boom. Lay it on. YG 400. So
this album made me create a lot of bad decisions over this bank holiday.
I did, and I'm feeling it right now.
I haven't listened to it. I will do. That's not through apathy. It is through apathy. It's not through like not wanting to. It's just through pure laziness.
Let me do a quick whiz through of.
If I didn't feel like I had to do it for the podcast, I probably would have listened to it.
Yeah, it's
just that case of knowing that I have to do something.
To do this thing
so now I don't want to.
I don't want to do this thing.
I have to, and I have the choice not to, so I'm not going to.
The album is 14 tracks.
It's like that shopping that I need to go and do that's totally not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. The album is 14 tracks. I'm shortening it down to 13, and I'll explain in a second.
Oh, I know why.
The album was delayed by the loss of Nipsey Hussle, so it was knocked back a little bit, and written on the album cover is "In Loving Memory of Nipsey Hussle."
I'd like to add as well that the two, he's got one whole. It's not even a track; it's just like him talking.
Yes,
and that's just like fully dedicated to Nipsey.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of references in the bars on here that I feel like he would have gone back to redo.
Yes, a lot of this I feel like has been updated very recently.
Yeah.
In light of what's happened.
100%.
Cycling through, all right features in there. Boogie features. I'm a big Boogie fan, and hearing Boogie's voice on someone else's song makes you realize how very unique Boogie's voice and rapping style is, which is new. In music nowadays, I appreciate that because so many people sound the same. You got Meek Mill feature, which is nice. Kamaya features on 2 songs, one of them, actually both of them probably being my favourite songs on this album.
I was really happy with the Kamaya feature. You just don't really get many Kamaya features.
No, you don't. Those two have a close working relationship. For the past few projects on both sides have featured on each other's stuff.
Yeah.
So we had Why You Hating? YG featuring Drake and Kamaya. Great song.
Yeah. Great.
Probably one of the last solid Drake feature verses I liked.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
because I'm torn on Drake features. We got a good Ty Dolla $ign feature. The album for me,
Ty Dolla $ign always. Sorry to interrupt you. He always comes through with the best features.
What are you doing interrupting? Who do you think you are? Me?
Yeah.
I'll give you that one. He knows exactly what he's doing with the
I
feature.
feel like whatever you pay for a Ty Dolla feature, you're getting all of your money's worth.
True.
You're
That's
getting
very
all of your
true.
money's worth on it.
We are leading up to a Ty Dolla project. I can't find any dates or any info on it, but he dropped that Purple Emoji song with J. Cole. J. Cole slyly appearing on every feature now. He said it,
Yeah.
I think at the end of last year, I'm going to be everywhere this year coming, and now he's proving it.
True.
The only thing I disliked about this album is, though we got some really good songs, Keisha Had a Baby,
That's my
really
favorite,
good
that's
song.
my favorite song on the album.
Such a shout out to West Coast rap, Keisha Had a Baby.
Which is like, it's mad weird as well, because like, so I've got that in my DJ playlist now, and like I've got it in as like a warm up song for like,
Yeah,
to set the mood for the night kind
because
of thing.
tempo, mood wise, it's not a happy song. It's not a fast song.
Yeah, so like I've had that in there. Shout out to the one guy that was literally crip walking for the whole of this song. Like he
In
just
his
had his
feels.
drink in his hand. Yeah,
Props to that guy. It was not me.
he was. Yeah, it wasn't you. I was surprised.
Yeah, the one thing I dislike about this album is he ended it so well on Do You Dance, the Ty Dolla feature, Her Story, which is a great song, My Last Words, which was supposed to be the last words, the Nipsey Hussle tribute. The tribute was very YG, which is he tries to get his feelings across, but also stays really hard in YG. It's like, I was real sad, yo.
Yeah. There's like no emotion in there. It's just that typical like gang banger like talk.
Yeah,
like.
It's exactly what I wanted, and I appreciate it. Makes it even more sentimental because it's real and just his recordings are not like a pre-written great prose. And then he ruins it by giving us a Stop Snitching remix on the end with DaBaby.
No one needed that.
No bad talk to DaBaby because he might beat me up on Instagram, but it's just not needed. And if you're gonna do that, drop it right after Stop Snitching in the middle of the album, which is an alright song in itself. DaBaby, you're good. We did not need this feature, so I'm removing that track 14 from my list.
Yeah, the thing is,
album.
The thing is for me, I wouldn't mind if we had that and the feature added so much more to the song, and it just like it completely switched up the vibe. Or if there was like multiple artists and it was kind of like
it was a posse cut feature, like an
old
we had
edition. If he did something where it was like the Busta Rhymes Touch It, and we had like Papoose and everyone on it, yes, I'd be there for it. And it was like a 6-7 minute long song. Give me that then.
Yeah. That should not be track number 14 on this album. Yeah. And the album, I feel like, would be more impactful without that song. If it ended on My Last Words, that would have been a more impactful, rounded album. So, again, love YG for doing this. He deserves the accolades that he should get for this album. I don't feel like he will, though.
No, I don't feel like he will. I feel like...
another artist that we mentioned called Denzel.
No, because you can't put YG and Denzel in the same category.
Yeah, I was taking the piss.
Yeah, I'm just
gonna come at you.
Yeah, I was about to come at you strong.
So I feel like
I keep hitting the wrong sample.
That's funny though.
That's your one job.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna edit them out, but I've had to edit out in this podcast so far so many of the glass smashing samples just because I keep going for the say it with your chest and hitting the wrong one.
I'm cool with it.
Is it this one? Say it with your chest. I found it.
So yeah, I feel like good album YG. It's not going to be appreciated. He's not going to get that Grammy from this album that we wanted to, which is frustrating because he's gone on a run, and I feel like one more album of this style, are we going to get bored? Is it going to be a bit long if we get one more of this album from YG? Because we got
100%.
Stay Dangerous. We got Still Brazy. We got Blame It on the Streets.
But the thing is, though, YG makes this kind of music that is just great for clubs, going out drinking Henny. It's like summer, just like, as we said before we started recording, like, you're just out just
That's
chilling,
true.
cruising in the car.
That's very true.
Bumping
Cruising down
this,
the street in my
smoking a blunt. Disclaimer: I don't smoke. But yeah,
So we'll give him that. Let's hope that he doesn't make it long to listen to another whatever comes after For Real. And it's kind of bad that we are a few days after this album and I'm already
wanting more.
Yeah, wanting more.
So right now, I'm very content with
I'm
this
happy
album.
with it. I'm just frustrated by the end, and that's just the.
I'll listen to it on my way.
It's got a ridiculous. It's got a ridiculous amount of club bangers.
Yes, it does.
Like this, as I said to Sein before, this album. As soon as I put it on, I think it was Friday.
Yep.
Friday night before the club, I put this on, and as soon as I got there, I was already in the mode where I was just down for fuckery. I was down for all sorts of fuckery. The Henny bottle came out earlier than usual. Yeah, like
that's too funny.
And that Stop Snitching track, oh my gosh.
Stop Snitching, it got better now I've listened to it on the album, because the first time I heard it, unsure, listened to it on the album, loved it, went and watched the video, crazy.
People lost their shit when I played that on Friday as well. Like, I was actually surprised about how many people had heard the album.
That's
like the
rare.
day that it releases.
Give them props for that.
All right, let's do the last one, because this is probably the only one that I've got anything reasonable to say about. I want to talk about Beast Coast.
Yeah.
Before Beast Coast, can I just say, Igor, amazing album. Tyler deserves all the Grammys. Tyler is a legend for Igor.
I completely forgot about that.
And I just want to point out.
Felt like we talked about it.
I just want to point out as well. He was 100% right. He's in his bag with the visuals.
I said it. He came out here with the shoulder pads, the blonde wig, came full Beyonce.
Oh yeah,
the earthquake visuals. Once you said that, and I took it in, I watched it a good few more times. It is incredible.
It's so good.
The amount of stuff that's going on as well. The amount of stuff though, and the little references though, that like a lot of people will miss.
Yeah.
I missed it the first 2 or 3 times, but after I've like watched it quite a few times, some of the references I'm like, oh my gosh.
And he nailed it by carrying that visual out. He broke the dimension of carrying it out of the video and being stood in London dressed with the same wig, the shoulder pads, the bright suit. Like, we're seeing him embody his album, and I think that's one of the steps that he needed. And he's probably a light bulb went off in his head that when you put out a bit of music, don't Frank Ocean it and just drop it and then disappear to the world and think that's going to be enough for the people.
I mean, with Frank
People
Ocean,
want everything.
For Frank Ocean, it is. That's part of the Frank Ocean effect.
Yeah, that's true.
It gets to
Earthquake.
boom, have a
Earthquake
project. Bye.
Earthquake was a very Frank Ocean-esque vibe as well.
Yeah.
Very. I think that's my favorite song off the album though.
I'm unsure.
Like,
I don't know if I can pick a favorite.
Do you know what? It's weird though, because I don't know whether I like it, because I was kind of expecting. I was expecting similar to what I got from Tyler, but Earthquake was very different. Like that was the lead single for it as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like hearing that early, it just confirmed. I know Tyler's going to be all about his creative shit on this album.
I like he went off on what's good. Can I just add before we jump into Beast Coast, because I think we probably should. Puppet was such a waste of Kanye West.
Yeah.
Such a waste. And that's not Tyler's fault. I think he just got a bad Kanye day.
I was about to say, I was like, I feel like when you get a Kanye feature, you're taking a risk in itself, because you never know. You might get the poop diddy scoop diddy.
Yeah.
I won't hear bad words said about
or you might get
lift yourself.
Or you might get an incredible verse.
Yeah.
But you just don't know what you're gonna get. And I feel like the mood that we've talked about it a lot, but the mood and the place that Kanye's his vocals are terrible. Someone edit them out.
We're gonna have to put some auto-tune all in there.
The place that like Kanye's at, you would expect them to be like the feature to be. His singing's just fucking threw me off. You'd have expected the feature to be a lot better than what it is. Just comparing fuck it, I'm done. I'm done.
But no, I definitely agree that I wanted, when I saw it on paper and I was looking ahead when I was listening to the album, that yes, Tyler in this bag. Well, like, by the time you reach that 8th song, you're like, Tyler in this bag, and Kanye's about to come, and then the song starts, and it was like letting the air out of a balloon.
Yeah,
and then that makes the next song, What's Good, sound even better. Because when that song drops and Tyler's back to like crazy abrasive drums, loved it.
It's all good, by the way. Aldi is open till 6.
Win. Beast Coast, how do we feel?
Great. In short, great. For those who know me, I'm a huge fan of Flatbush Zombies. They're probably my favorite rap group of all time. I'm not making outlandish statements like saying they're the best, but they are by far my favorite.
Okay.
Those three absolutely kill it. I've seen them live twice. They're awesome. Underachievers, when they did Clockwork Indigo with Underachievers, that project was incredible. Joey Badass. Everyone loves Joey Badass.
Yeah, the whole pro era camp.
Pro era camp.
There's just not much of a debate to be had there. So you take all of these people and you smash them together, and unlike a lot of super groups where they can become less than the sum of their parts, like this happens in all genres of music. Because you put several, or in this case a lot of very talented people in a room, egos get in the way, and these people haven't worked together, consistently. It can be a problem. In this case, I don't think it was. The album was great. It was exactly what I expected. It mixed it up nicely. If anything, I think there was a bit too much zombies. I think because zombies are probably, other than maybe Joey Badass, like the most well-known out of the Beast Coast collective. I think there was almost too much of them for what it was.
I think that's an ode to what they do. They're very good at rapping melodies. They're good at pulling a song together. So they're probably used as, filler's a bad word because I don't mean it in a negative sense, but they're used to like bolster up, to enrich whatever the song was doing. So we knew that
the great thing
we
about
could get Michi to do something here.
Yeah. Do you feel like though that this whole thing's being created because all of them are massively underrated, and it's like a boost to try and feed off each other to
definitely.
Well, I mean, we saw the start of it. Was it Vacation from Vacation in Hell that had Joey Badass on it? That song was the big song off the album. Everyone loved it, and then they probably had this idea in their head beforehand. But if they didn't, that was what cemented it as like, yes, we need to do this. This landed real hard. It just went down really well. It was a great song. It was a great album. I need to stop using "great" as an adjective. Note to self:
everything's great, nothing is. Big facts.
True. But the nice thing about all of them as well, especially the zombies, I just feel more qualified to talk about Flatbush Zombies than the other guys. Each of them is so unique.
That's true.
Compared to each other.
Yeah.
So like you can very distinctly tell the difference between Juice and Eric and Meech.
Yeah.
Like they all have a different flow, they all have a different cadence, they all have a different tone, tempo, style, but they all work together incredibly well.
Yeah.
And I think that's by virtue of knowing each other so well, as they've grown up together, and producing music together for so long.
Yep.
That they can, and Eric's the producer. Eric is incredible as a producer. He also has bars.
Yep.
Which is rare, I think. Rarer than it probably should be.
That's true, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, there should be more producer come rappers or rapper come producers.
Or people who
He's not
I don't know though. Could you be surprised? Like
he's not the best producer, but he's not the best rapper either. But he's very good at both things.
yeah, but the thing is, it's like I feel like if you produce your own stuff, which a lot of rappers are doing now, you know how to get the best out of yourself. So you don't you could just be a competent rapper. You don't need to be the best. But you know what's going to help and elevate different aspects. So you could use like your weakest part. It might be like lyrical content might be your weakest part, but you might then use the beat that you make to elevate that to the point where people aren't really listening to the lyrical content.
Yeah, you take it as a whole and create a song as opposed to a verse.
Yeah.
Sein, what did you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's the end of that.
The one bit of homework that I did was the only thing that neither of you really did.
Yeah.
I like the album. The one thing I was torn on is something that Pharrell said a while ago, which you may notice that Pharrell rarely shows you the feature on a song because he wants the song, the way it's built, the way it's structured to carry itself. It doesn't need a preamble of I'm going to listen to and implicitly ignore the first 2 minutes because I'm waiting for this person's voice. Because this does this and it lists literally everyone. I'm looking at composer lists and everyone and their cousin are involved at some points and it lists it. A lot of the time, implicitly, I'd go, oh, Joey's on this song. Let me listen out for Joey's verse. Yeah. And then I'll go, oh shit, Nick Caution did just spit a fire verse though. Like, did something really well. Yeah. And then I'll go, oh, restart that. And then I'm just like, I'm just listening out for verses. It feels like a DJ Khaled album at times. I'm listening out for someone's verse.
I think the only reason they've had to do that is because there are so many of them. I don't think it was necessary personally.
It shouldn't be on the track.
They wanted to spell out who was in each track.
Yeah.
No, it was not necessary though. We need to take them as a group.
Yeah, this is my thing. If you are now forming it as a group, you like unless there's a feature from outside of this group, I don't want to see it. I just want their...
It'd be like listening to a Wu-Tang album and seeing name of song featuring Method Man, RZA, Jizza.
It's just unnecessary.
We don't need that. We know who the members of the group are. I know Wu-Tang's doesn't have as many members as the Beast Coast do. But it wouldn't be necessary. Like, if you're a fan of that and you want that, you know who you're listening to, you can recognize the voice, and it shouldn't matter. You're still going to listen to the track. I didn't go through this only picking out the Zombies tracks or only picking out the ones that Meech had a strong verse on. Like, I just listened to the whole album. I enjoyed it. I need to listen to it a couple more times to thoroughly put my thoughts down, but I didn't dislike any of it. There was no point where I was like, I'm getting a bit bored on it. And it was the right length too. 47 minutes. It didn't drag on too long.
The thing is, I got
to listen to it on my commute.
I don't know whether this, like, normally I think like when you list all of the names like that of your features, that it's just a flex, and it's kind of like
true.
It's like a flex that helps like promote, makes you more excited for it, like how we were saying.
Yeah.
But is anyone really looking at this as like a super group, being like, I'm really wanting to hear this Joey verse?
I would imagine
Joey fans wanted to hear Joey verse, but they wanted the Joey verse anywhere.
Yeah, I think that's the key, is that you've got certain individuals.
It wasn't like an aspiration for this.
Yeah.
I just lost all thought of Train.
You lost all thought of Train. Wow.
Sorry, football's on in the back.
Yeah, Aston Villa just scored.
Yeah, it was just a good. And I'm not saying they did it intentionally because it was Joey, but like that's a great example of. I don't think it's a stretch to say that out of all of them, Joey's the biggest.
Yeah.
Well, no. So if you put, definitely is.
If you put Joey's name on them,
maybe Joey was a bad example from me.
Well, no. I mean, if you can't just put Joey's name on, so it's not like they could do this song has Joey Badass in it. Please, people who aren't fans of Flatbush Zombie, listen to this song. Yeah. So they kind of had to go, well, we really want to put Joey's name on, so we'll just put everyone's name on. And then if people are going to pluck songs out, they're going to pluck songs out. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it negatively impacted it. I don't personally think it's a necessary addition, but then again, I'm a fan of all of these people individually. From the point of view of trying to attract new fans by virtue of them being interested in one of those people, then it makes sense.
The thing is for me, it's just I like to look at like everything as like the whole picture. I don't want to just see. I just don't want to see the corner bit or the centerpiece of the picture, which is like the main focus, and like that. I want to see everything around it. I want to see the little signature in the corner, and I just feel like adding all of this is just an unnecessary thing for me. And it's just taken away from it. I'm not really feeling it.
I think I understand where...
He says, having not listened to the album.
I think I understand where you're coming from, DJ, because the light bulb I just had is I loved the art of discovering these things. Yeah. I loved like listening to an album and it will just have the 11 songs written, and then I'll be flicking through the book or I'll be listening and go, wait, is that? And then my ear would, or if it's not, I know that name, it's who is that? And then I'll go out of my way to try and discover and learn. We live in an era now where it's just on the plate and it's microwave rustlers for you.
Although, to be fair, one example where I think that works in the opposite is and this is an old throwback, is Forever. Like, seeing those names listed makes me even though I already know that they're on that song, every time I see that song title, because it's Forever featuring Drake, Lil Wayne, Kanye West, and Eminem.
Yeah.
I see that title and it gets me excited.
Yeah,
I already know they're there.
Yeah,
I don't need you to tell me that they're there. And if I'd have heard the song organically and gone, oh damn, that was Kanye on a song with Lil Wayne and Eminem, that's fucking cool.
The main difference,
it gets me excited for it.
The main difference with this is there wasn't a group.
Yeah.
Fair.
There wasn't a group.
Okay.
This is like, we're talking about a group. Like, like you said earlier, it's the same as seeing the Wu-Tang thing. Like, it's just unnecessary.
True.
All
right, I retract my previous point.
Going to Wu-Tang. Did anyone listen to Of Mics and Men?
No.
Nope.
That's a straight nopes from all of us.
I should do.
Yeah, I feel like I should. I feel like we should watch it.
I feel like there's a thing.
Same 12 watches of Mics and Men.
Yes, YouTube.
Side episode coming to you soon.
Is there an argument to be made, just throwing this out there as not so much a controversial statement, just a statement, just to see where it goes, that if you're a hip-hop fan, you call yourself a hip-hop head, that you should have to listen to a Wu-Tang album?
No.
I think you should have to listen to it. You don't have to like it.
Nope.
You don't have to.
No, I don't.
I think you should have to listen to it.
I don't think you should.
Album.
I think it depends on what area you're coming from, how old you are.
Well, yeah, but then I don't think you've got people, even if you've got...
Are we expecting 16-year-olds now to know about Wu-Tang?
I don't want them to
It
know.
depends. It depends. Are they fans of... Not even that. So I'm talking about a specific set of people.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like the whole umbrella of people who listen to hip-hop.
If you are...
I'm talking about someone who you call yourself a hip-hop head. Like, for example, I wouldn't call myself a huge Wu-Tang fan.
Yes.
I'm not listening to Wu-Tang on the regular, but I absolutely will listen to this album.
The thing is,
even though I know I'm probably never going to listen to it again after that.
The thing is, though,
because I feel like I have
to. Yeah, but do you define yourself as a hip hop head?
Yeah.
Because for me, I would
just about, but yeah.
I would say I would not class myself as a hip hop head just because I know people that I class them as a hip hop head, and like their knowledge and
it's
like
scale.
Everything that like they listen to and stuff. It's so much like more obscure. Like they don't fuck with like most commercial stuff. Like they're very like deep into it. And I feel like I would expect someone like them to have heard like this album. For somebody that just casually likes hip hop, I'm not angry at you if you haven't listened. If you don't,
I'm not going to go
if this album or any Wu-Tang album.
It depends how old you are.
Well, I'm saying in this instance, like they've released a new album. If you call yourself a hip hop head, I think you should have to listen to it. It should be mandatory listening. You don't have to enjoy it. You don't ever have to listen to it again. But I don't think you can call yourself a hip hop head if Wu-Tang drop an album and you don't go and listen to it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay.
But then it depends on like, as I said, what you define as a hip hop head.
Yeah.
Like if you call yourself a hip hop head, then yeah, you should.
Okay, I definitely agree.
And I also think
I feel bad for not listening to it yet because I call myself a hip hop head.
Yeah,
and this is gonna make you feel worse as well. I also feel like, to answer your question, if you're over 25 and you are just into hip hop and you've not heard any Wu-Tang, you should be ashamed.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah,
like it is very age dependent. Like 16 to 18-year-olds now, I don't really expect you to have heard a lot of the past stuff.
No, we don't get to give people a pass like that. It depends.
I don't think we should give people passes.
No,
Why?
It depends. If you're...
We have to keep the clan alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, no,
wow, that was
we're
a
not.
weird sentence to say.
Yeah. Pause.
Okay, so...
Also, have you seen there's that spoof thing, just to go off that, of the black guy that joined the KKK?
Black Klansman?
Is
in the
that
movie?
The Spike Lee film?
Is that the name of it?
Black KK Klan... It's Black KK Klansman.
I think so, yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
Watch
it's a
it.
Spike Lee movie.
I've not watched it.
Fun fact:
Someone told me about
Denzel
it
Washington's son.
Yeah. Did he win an Oscar for that?
No, I don't think so.
Spike Lee,
the movie did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Spike Lee won an Oscar. He was also wearing gold
Tinkers.
Tinker 3s provided to him by Tinker
yeah.
Hatfield.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the picture. Was that for that movie?
Yeah, Black Klansman.
okay.
It's on Now
TV.
It's on Now TV, yeah. But yeah, to respond to your point, I agree. But at the same time, I don't think we should give people a pass for being young.
Can I just point
For
out?
example, I call myself, other than being a hip hop head, I'm big into rock. We've discussed this before.
Yeah.
Like rock music is probably the foundation of all the music that I like. You can't really go around saying, I really like rock, and not listen to or have listened to and consumed the Rolling Stones and the Who and the Doors.
I feel like you can. I feel like
you can't call it, no, elevate. Like everything's got a foundation.
Yeah, but it's got.
And if you're going to call yourself, bear in mind this is self-identifying as a hip hop fan. Like if you walk into a room and like, hi, I'm Johnny and I'm a hip hop fan, and someone comes up and go, oh cool, what do you think of 36 Chambers? And you go, what?
Even if you go,
You get
I listened to
slapped.
it, don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, oh, it wasn't for me. Not even don't like it. Wasn't for me.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't
if you-
know.
if you
Like
go- or if-
for me,
or
it's
people
just
who
very
go,
age
like-
dependent.
No.
I do feel like age plays a part. So when we break it down,
Age is where the age is something that would make me question how much I think you will have listened to it. So if you're over 25, like you
wouldn't-
said,
yeah.
I'm
You
going to
have to
assume
have.
that you've listened to it.
Yeah.
My 15-year-old little brother, I don't assume that he's listened to it. But if he's going to walk into a room and go, I'm a big hip hop fan, I'm going to be like, cool, go listen to 36 Chambers and come back, and then then even if you didn't
Yeah.
like it, even if you never listen to it again,
You have to have GCSEs to be able to fly a plane.
wait, but,
Exactly.
But you can wait. So we just like
don't need an English
so,
paper to-
So we taken away the fact though that you could say you're a hip hop fan, and everything from what 2009 up until now, you could have the craziest knowledge.
Extensive knowledge of.
Yeah, you could have extensive knowledge of it, but the older stuff, in the 90s, you don't have a clue because
music
that-
doesn't work like that. Music isn't
well,
time
first of all-
dependent.
Yeah, well, first of all, there's a lot of stuff that's on streaming platform that's not on streaming platforms because it was post that era. Like there's a lot of mixtapes and
Yeah, but I
stuff
think
that I wouldn't.
Yeah, but I
expect
think
kids to be
naturally
able
what
to
will
go
happen is so
back.
let's naturally what happens is someone comes out with something, and unless they're an artist that hasn't been around for a long time, so let's say for argument's sake, Eminem, just because I can talk about the longevity of the discography, right? And this isn't a point about Eminem. This is this isn't a point about
Sorry,
Eminem. I'm trying to think of someone else, like Kendrick. All right, let's switch it up. Let's use Kendrick. Kendrick comes out with a new album. Shouts out to Cortez Kenny, and then new kid, new hip hop fan, young hip hop fan listens to this and goes, "Oh, I've never heard of this guy. This is amazing." He's going to go back through his discography, maybe even past before he was born, to listen to some stuff. That means that that's just how it works with music. You naturally go back and you discover things that are way before your time. People mention the Clan in tracks.
I'm not arguing with that, but what I am saying is as well with some of those. This was some of the points you brought up there. Like, I'm not expecting people to go back past Overly Dedicated with Kendrick for that stuff.
No.
Like, this is what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff that, like, yeah, they may have heard of Wu-Tang, but they may not have listened to a lot of it. It's like the same with Mac Miller. You might be really like his stuff, but you might not have heard the mixtape Kids.
Well, I'm not expecting you to. I'm just saying that.
yeah.
I'm not,
But
I'm not-
Kids was like his biggest work. It's not available on any streaming platform. Like, there's a lot of stuff post that era that's mixtape stuff that as an older person in hip hop we will remember it, or it wasn't too far back.
It's foundational though. Like, to use my rock analogy again. What?
No, go on. It's a good analogy.
To use my rock, like my example of rock, if you're into rock,
Yeah.
you could be into a certain type of rock, you can be into indie, you can be into like punk rock, you can be into whatever. You're going to go backwards. What happened? I just got a lisp then.
Yeah.
Backwards. You're going to go back and you're going to listen to the Rolling Stones and people like that because they're the foundation for the entire genre.
Even if it's just an hour.
Yeah,
And then you
I
go,
just feel like you hear someone
I get
reference it, you see someone in an interview going, "Oh yeah, big inspiration for me was the Rolling Stones," and you're like, "Oh cool, I don't know who that is," and put it on like the Wu-Tang Clan, NWA, all these people from the early days, all these groups that were there that laid the foundation for fucking Lil Pump to put out trash.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Lil Pump, you don't get to call yourself a hip hop fan until you've gone back and looked at the foundation. You don't have to even be, like I said, really clear. You don't have to be a fan of it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't
I
have
think
to.
that will come with the knowledge, tying what you've both said, I think that will come with the knowledge. So to build that like extensive library of knowledge, a song is going to be sampled, and you'll be like, "This was sampled from this song from the 90s," which is what's happening now. They're sampling 90s rap songs.
Yeah, like, I'm a fan of basketball, but I don't know all the backdated like results and like who won this year.
It's different.
And it's not.
I know people who are on both ends of that spectrum. I know people who can tell me what the score was.
Exactly.
I know. Yeah, I know a
and
guy.
And this is the point that I'm making, that like you can still be a fan of something, but you don't need to have like. I think we rely.
I'm not asking for an encyclopedic knowledge.
No, but I feel like we rely too much on this was the past and this is like you have to know this. When like I'm not saying like people that, as I said, like anyone that's over 25, I expect you to know all of this, but 15, 16-year-old kids now that like hip-hop, that are a fan of it, I don't expect you to.
No, I'm not expecting them to right now. I'm expecting them to get there. And if I have that conversation with them and they go, "No, who are Wu-Tang?" I'll be like, "Right, cool, go take your fucking iPhone." I was going to say iPod.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
I was going to say iPod.
Showing his old
I was going to say, go take your Zune.
Just synchronize it to your computer.
Excuse me, what's a computer? If you get that reference, you're real cool.
Yeah.
You're not. You're a nerd. We're like, okay, cool, that's fine. I'm not mad at you, little 15-year-old, for not knowing who Wu-Tang are. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you better go find out.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to get to that point eventually. I'm not expecting them to know who they are and have listened to them right now, but I am expecting them to go and do it.
Okay, yeah,
and maybe even, and for me, it's understand why.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is as well, like, I feel like when you look at NWA, Wu-Tang, like Public Enemy, the whole
De La Soul,
the
gods
whole
of rap.
Yeah, the whole foundation. How often do people talk about this? We're only talking about this mainly because of the Gods of Rap tour, and then obviously the
Of Mics and
Men. And like, I genuinely feel that if that tour hadn't been on, would we be talking about this album?
Probably
like,
not as much. No.
We
not as much, but it would be a case of, like I said right back at the beginning, oh, there's a new Wu-Tang album, I have to listen to it. Like I'm not excited about it. I'm not getting fucking lit about it. But I feel obliged.
But this is the thing, though. It's like we feel obliged because we've not even grew up on with Wu-Tang. Like, we was just at the era where it happened slightly just before us, so it was still there. If we're not even excited about this album and making loads of noise about it, it's not getting any mainstream press.
And again,
how do we expect like a younger audience to be like, oh, I feel like I need to go and listen to this? Like,
they will get there. Because we tell them to.
But how if we're not even excited about it?
No, because we say, hey, you might not be excited about it, you got to go listen to it. Just sit down, plug your headphones in, listen to it.
Again, with me saying like, I only feel like we're really talking about this album because of the tour and everything that's just gone on. I don't feel like we would be saying this. I personally wouldn't be saying to someone, have you heard the new Of Mics and Men? I wouldn't have a conversation about it if it wasn't for this podcast. I genuinely wouldn't.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So, how can younger kids be expected to know about it if we're not going to really talk about it?
Because we should. Anyway, that's enough of that gibberish.
Yeah, moving on.
Tying music and sport like we just did.
Oh!
Drake at the Raptors. It's the whole side story in itself, and I've just seen, we'll put the picture of Drake here, and then we'll put a picture of Tupac here. Just seen Drake channeling his inner Tupac wearing the 100 Miles hoodie from Above the Rim. Very clever referencing by Drake. Yeah. To dress like Tupac did in the basketball movie in which Tupac goes to order a killing because Drake is going to order a winning.
Oh, shit. Wow.
I like Drake for that one. I'll give you props, even though you were definitely heavy on the substance.
Yeah, a lot of...
Insert whatever substance choice of your liking there.
Yeah.
NBA Finals. How do you feel? 30th in Thursday, Toronto. So they're starting off at Raptors home.
Personally, I feel that like that's a disadvantage for them because I feel like I feel like I don't know. I feel like Bucks. I feel like it should have been Bucks in the final. Like,
Really?
I didn't. In my head, I did not see Raptors being in the final.
Now they are in the final. I feel like the momentum should hopefully carry them. The only thing is they're going against a well-rested super team.
Yeah.
A well-rested super team.
They're not
They
gonna
would have
win.
spent a good couple of weeks in Toronto training, keeping fit.
Then they're not gonna win.
Yeah, I just hope it's not a complete.
I don't. Yeah,
4-0
right. I don't.
washing.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see a 4-0 washing. But like, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'd be very. I'd be happy to see Raptors win one game, maybe two, but I don't feel like that's gonna happen.
I want it to go far.
I'd like it to, but yeah, I just can't. I can't really see it happening.
Yeah, that's fair. Ah, geez, Raptors are going to really struggle. They're going to put all their weight on Kawhi Leonard and hope for the best.
And he's also kind of semi-injured.
Yeah, he's... Oh, okay. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting Thursday. I'm excited. I might NBA League Pass for this.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same. Although, actually, on Sky have set up a new channel. Is
New
it called
tab.
Is it called Sports Mix or something like that? And they've been showing like a load of the games
Nice.
on there, like actual full games as well.
I like that.
So I'm hoping
Watch live NBA games. Sky.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's going to be something they just follow through for the final as well.
Nice. Yep, it looks like they've got him.
Yeah.
And live WNBA because equality is key. Sweet.
I'm so fucking hot.
Yeah.
You two are wearing hoodies.
I'm real warm.
How are you not dying?
I'm
it's
warm,
like 26 degrees in here.
I've committed to this now.
As Nipsey sang so eloquently, it's 20-something degrees in LA.
I was going to do a whole speech on stuff. It's been a long weekend. It's been a long weekend. No, I was going to do a whole thing on... I saw something on Curtis Blow talking about basketball,
Yes.
music and stuff, but...
We've got the finals. We've still got a whole couple of weeks to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll save it. We'll
see how the finals go.
Yeah, we'll save it, and we'll do like a whole ode to basketball and hip hop.
Yes, Sein. What would you like to say?
Throwback to a brief conversation I mentioned earlier. Shout out to Meg the Stallion using really good samples and like audio clippings from stuff around the internet and hip hop culture. Some of you who know me well know I use the phrase, I just want to do hood rat stuff with my friends. I use that phrase a lot, and she sampled that in her song, and she just used it really well. So ode to that. Only reason I say that is because I have the video up to show everyone. Shout out to LeMilton. Latarian Milton, 7-year-old from, of course, South Florida, who stole his grandma's car and decided to smoke with cigarettes while he drove his grandma's car.
Yep.
And when he was interviewed by the news reporters...
Do it because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things.
It's fun to do bad things.
But did you know that you could perhaps kill somebody?
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
It
We're
only
gonna put that there.
That video's gonna go right here.
Truly exquisite.
Sweet.
Oh, just to top it off, he was a bad kid and he's also now in prison.
Yeah.
Like for a long time.
Latari Milton's gone.
For a long time.
He out there with Kodak.
Oh, he's probably.
Oh, these South Florida boys.
I don't know what it is. We've talked about Florida a lot recently, but they just breed a different kind of.
They're different type of human there. Sweet.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
We are at this is a long episode.
I'm proud
It
of us.
felt like it.
We have words.
It felt like it. I don't know whether this is just because I have very lack of energy after 4 days DJing in a row, but
Well,
I'm gonna go nap now.
yeah, I need to go do some grocery shopping.
I'm gonna write an angry email that there's no Mexican restaurants near my house.
Oh yeah, just eat. About to get that
Doing
heat.
nothing but talking about burritos. Was my prawn toast not good enough for you? God damn.
To be honest, it tasted pretty peanutty.
Oh,
I'm allergic.
review. Write an email to them too.
Yeah.
Iceland. We out there for
They
you,
didn't
bro.
taste the prawns; it tasted the peanuts.
Sweet. Let's sign off.
All right.
But yeah, back next week.